Hey everybody, this is Polio Jr. and today I'm just going to be showing you really quick how to change a power supply in a tower. Now this guy is a Gateway DX4300, and long story short, the power supply has gone bad on this guy. So the first thing you always want to check is the size, which is typically pretty standard for any regular tower. And so we're looking at the size here, and it looks pretty standard, and we have enough room. This is a pretty standard size power supply. But the biggest thing you always want to look at are the specs for the. So check out the model number first, and make sure that that model number will be pretty much the same size and the same wattage as your new power supply. So you look that up, and then I'm also looking at you want to look at the DC output, which is 400 watts. So I was able to get a 400 watt Insignia power supply, and which has also the same connections that this Gateway has. So this is all SATA in here. This does have room for IDE as well. If you can see right here, it has room for an IDE/ATA hard drives or CD-ROMs, but we won't be using that. And switching out power supplies is extremely easy. Typically on the outside, there's just 4 screws right here, and you can just go 1, 2, so anything that's holding the power supply to the tower itself. So we have 1, 2, and then there's 3, 4 right here. So you take out these 4 screws, then we'll go on to the next step. And now here we are. So all 4 screws are out of here. After that, the power supply typically just comes right out like that. And that's it right there. So this guy does have the IDE power adapters and the SATA power adapters. But everything in here is SATA. So I at least knew that I just needed SATA. So with this new guy here, this 400 watt PC power supply, it had everything I needed. So I'll try to unbox this and do this all with one hand, so excuse me. Very simple. A lot of times we'll even send you the power cord if you need it. But we see that, I'll show you right now, that the sizes do match up. All you're doing, so those sizes do match up. That's perfectly fine. Put the new one to the side. And then typically you'll have the main power source, which powers up the motherboard, and then you have a small cord over here as well. And then everything else are just the peripheral attachments. So you have so you're going to pull out anything obviously that's connected to the old power supply. So which would be this SATA cable right here. And then there's a SATA cable. I had a SATA cable. I took out the hard drive already, but there's a SATA cable power cable going to the hard drive as well. So we take that out of the hard drive. We take that out of the CD-ROM. We pull this guy out here, which is typically just a clip that you press in and pull up. And then you have another one right here, same thing. There's a clip, you press in, pull up. You take out this entire power supply. You have your new one right here. And make sure wherever you're at that the voltage is set to 115. If you're in North America, it's 115. If you're in Europe, then you would slide the power supply over to 230. But since the default is 115 volts. So this guy gets pulled out completely. This guy will take its spot in here. You insert the 4 screws directly back into it. Then you replug this one wire over here. You replug the main power source right here. And then you have these SATA. So this is the main power source on the new guy. Plug it in exactly how the old one was. You plug in this one exactly how the old one was. And then you have, on this one, it's all SATA. I don't even need the IDE. So, so these are just going directly to, oh, I'm sorry, there is an IDE here. So I do have IDE and SATA. So I plug in the SATA power connectors into one into the CD-ROM, one into the hard drive, screw it back in here with the 4 screws, and that's it. And you're good to go, and you have a brand new power supply. There's nothing complicated about this process. It is extremely easy. The biggest thing you want to check, that you want to make sure, is that the output of the wattage is exactly the same that you had it before. Don't go crazy getting some 1,000-watt power supply if you don't need it. Stick with the one that came with the machine, and you're good to go after that. The sizes for towers, like I said, are very standard. I think it says it on the box somewhere here. Let's see here. But anyway, here we go. Dimensions. So it's 3x4 by 5x5 by 5.9 right there. And then it gives you the weight and all that good stuff. So, and that's it. So that's that's how you change a power supply. Very, very, very simple. Put the new guy in. So take all those wires out. You pop the new guy in exactly where the old one was. And then put the 4 screws in. Make sure it's held in place. Plug everything back to where you saw everything plugged in. If you feel as though you might forget where things are plugged in, then I would suggest taking pictures. So if I was using my phone, I would snap a picture of that. I would snap a picture of this, and then I would snap a picture of where the other SATA power cable is going, and then the other SATA power cable over here. And that is all. So hope you guys enjoyed. Very quick video. I haven't seen a whole ton of these videos out there. I'm not taking this guy completely out just because I don't need to at the moment. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe and definitely like the video. If you have any questions, maybe something pertaining to any laptop power supplies and things like that, please leave them in the comments below. And you are good to go. And last but not least, if by chance you see that this one, you see how that one fits entirely into the motherboard, the main power supply. This guy actually came with a cord that is a little bit smaller than that one. And that is actually totally fine. Everything will still work properly. So as long as you can get it to where it clips in perfectly fine, you're still good. You don't need every single port on that. So if you see that the port is a little bit smaller, you are absolutely good to go. It will work perfectly fine. You won't fry the motherboard. It won't not turn on the motherboard or anything like that. And that's really it. Thanks for watching.